to Italy and Ivrea for the 4th International Canoe Federation Slalom World Cup of the 2017 season. Over 250 athletes from 31 nations are competing on this, what will become, I think, a legendary course. Beautiful scenery, wonderful conditions, great organisation. As ever, I'm Matthew Layton, a host of guests today. We're going to kick off with Noemi Fox and Peter Kauser. Hello.
Hey.
Hello, thanks for having us.
Always a pleasure. Let's go straight to the crucial thing, the weather conditions.
Well, it's quite a nice day today, not too windy and nice and sunny, so prime conditions, I'd say.
Yeah, except yesterday was like a little bit, the weather was a little bit worse, but it was alright, you know, at least there was no wind and no rain, so I think yesterday was a nice race and hopefully today will be even better.
The water's a little bit brown, which doesn't look too inviting, but
It seems to change colour every day. As of course, it comes down from Mont Blanc in the Alps. So we're looking at the details of the Alps 7, 9, 12, 13, 17, 19. A few shocks and a few challenges in there, which we'll look at the moment. The water level on the top has come down a little bit. Is that affecting things or not really on the actual course?
Well, I think it does because, yesterday when we had our semi-final, gates were pretty low, and then I think the water dropped a little bit for the final, so gates were really high, and you could duck under it like way easier than in the semis. Also, I think there were less mistakes, but yeah, especially the start. You know, I hit in the final. I hit with my boat, so.
Well, moving fast and furiously on, Peter, by the way, came third yesterday. This is the lineup of the final, so this is in reverse order of the times they produced with penalties in the semi-final. Again, stacked with the normal familiar names and not too many newcomers in here, so it's a really
I would
top
say on the
pedigree.
contrary. Kate Eckart is a newcomer and it's her first final, so that's quite exciting.
We had double Aussies, double Slovenians,
Yeah.
and the rest of the field.
Well, let's talk them through. Ursa here from Slovenia has been the overall winner of the World Cup Tour so far this year. She's having, for her, probably an average year so far. 7th in Prague, 3rd in Augsburg, and Markleberg came 29th. Let's see how she goes down the course.
Well, for now, I think she's doing all right. She get the good rhythm of strokes on the top. Didn't stop at gate 4-5, which is like really hard to do. It's in the eddy, and sometimes the water flows there and moves you like it did to me yesterday. I lost a couple of seconds, but for now, I think she's all right as long as she's keeping her pace and just like accelerates down the course. Oh, a touch on gate 9. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, neither did I. Might have been a small brush.
I know in the men's semi-final yesterday, that was the most touched gate. It was touched 8 times in the semi-finals.
Yeah, but probably, like I said before, because the water was a little bit higher than in the final and the gates were pretty low. Also today I saw it, the gate 9. But I don't know. Now, I think she's doing all right till now. The boat is moving all the time, which is good. And it's hard with ladies, because you know, women, we can save something with power, and with ladies, they have to rely on their feeling of the boat and on the water. So
Well, the reference is the fastest in the semi-finals was Ricky Funk, and she came down in 97.3.
I think this will, without a penalty, the run was, it was okay, actually. It's hard, you know, to predict what will happen in the final because the course itself it's so hard, and a lot of mistakes can happen, but I think this was a good run, and let's see what the rest of the field will do.
So next go, who I said it was an experienced field. It's just that she seems to be around all the time when she's here. Young Kate Eckart, so far this season, 37th in Prague, 42nd in Augsburg, 38th, and here she's going. She's small,
So
but
she's
she's
gone
a tough
from
nut.
not making a semi-final to going straight into the final. So it's good to see her, and I'm excited to see what she delivers. But she's a very safe paddler, and I think that's why she got through to the final.
Yeah, I think that's good because like the the level of the athletes of the women athletes, they are like also getting wider and wider. Like more women are getting better and better. So it's good for the older girls to to not to sleep on their like
Yeah.
good results.
So far, she looks she's doing well. Obviously, her father, major international paddler from Tasmania. And she's a great climber, isn't she? She seems to
Yeah,
spend all her
she's
off-time climbing.
extremely strong. She's tiny, but she's got such a great power to weight ratio and really guns it and is quite safe and clean generally, so knows how to position the boat well and to keep things quite tidy. And she's on a good run so far, so this is exciting.
Yeah,
Oh, whoops,
you said
Can
every time.
happen.
no, but I think for her it's good that she made it to the final because she's young and she will paddle probably for a lot of years
Yeah.
to come. So more experiences and that's it, you know.
Where she's only timing-wise, apart from the penalty, she's very much in touch.
Yeah, so this is quite a good run. Nice and solid and using the waves well. It's quite pushy down the bottom as well, and when you're tired it's hard to keep the good line, but
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you know, 18, 19, probably that's the hardest thing because it also depends of the water and you're pretty tired at the finish and you need to be focused till the end and yeah.
Where she
so
comes.
that's quite consistent. She did a 104 in her semi-final, so consistency is her forte, which is good for the future.
So you know her pretty well,
Yeah. Well, we've been rivals since we were like 10, so
which is a good thing for you
Yeah.
as well.
it's good.
How is she this morning? Excited? Nervous? Both?
Yeah, excited and ready to race.
Well, to make it to the final, and there's a huge start list.
So next up is Italian Steffi Horn, so hopefully she puts on a good show and pleases the crowd.
Well, lives here now with her 2 dogs. Always super exciting.
Her dog runs down and chases her. It's
Eh.
funny. But she's quite a strong paddler and really just guns it. Her style is just goes for it, nothing to lose.
Yeah, she fights from the top to
Yeah.
the bottom. I think she medaled this year at the Europeans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Tatsan.
Yeah. Which is
So-
like the course is pretty similar to this one, you know, the water's moving, you need to get the right rhythm of the strokes, which is important now in this part where she will arrive now, like from the bridge down. And if you know how to navigate down the white water here in Ivrea, then you have fun and you're also fast. So.
Yeah.
I think that was a key word this weekend, was fun, isn't it?
Oh,
Oh.
so that will cost her a lot of time.
But I think well, she knows the course, so she can get back some time. But she's gonna have to fight till the end.
So far, this is the third final, apart from the Europeans, obviously, where she came second. She was 5th in Prague, 16th in Augsburg, 8th in Rotterdam.
Good. If you feel comfortable on some water, you know, and if you know the course pretty well, it doesn't matter even if you make a mistake, you know where to gain some time back.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I did a mistake on the top, but I knew that my part of the course is coming, where you need to get the right rhythm. So I was just fighting, and at the end, it all worked out pretty good for me.
Yeah, it's such a technical course. There are so many places where you can lose or gain time.
And the worst thing is you don't even know the reason why you lost some time or gained some.
Well, good encouragement. Yesterday was a little bit quiet out there, but today Italians are cheering their compatriot and moves into 3rd place.
Yeah, so I think she'll be a little bit disappointed with that run. It's hard to please the home crowd, but
Yeah, the pressure is a little bit bigger. She was pretty lucky here that she didn't miss them.
So far, we do have Slovenian on top, Slovenian
All right.
Slovenian next to go, and a Slovenian commentator.
Yeah, I said to the girls,
Slovenians are dominating right now.
hopefully it will stay till the end. Yeah, they are like, both Ursha and Eva are like, they have a good technique and they know how to read the water pretty well and get that glide of the boat. which helps them on this water. And let's see if she will do all right now. She was a little bit sick this week, but so far it looks okay for her.
Well, she's had wins before on the circuit, so she certainly knows how to cope
Yeah.
with the pressure.
She will, but it's good, because they were fighting also for the London Olympics, and Eva won that fight, and for last year for Rio Olympics, Ursula won it, and they're just like fighting with each other, and they're improving every year, so which is good. And so far, I think she's doing a good run. And the most important is that she's still clean, and hopefully she will stay till the end.
We've been saying quite a bit that in 27 years of paddling, it's the first time you'd been here. Is it the same for your
Exactly.
compatriots, or have they been a bit more?
I think they were here. Eva was here for sure. I'm not sure about Ursula because she was in the Olympic team last year, and we were at the training camp in Rio, so we skipped the first World Cup here in Ivrea. But yeah, I think Ursula, that's her first time here as well.
Amazing. So it just
Yeah.
shows if you're talented, you
Oh.
can read the
Whoa.
water.
She saved that really well, actually.
Yeah.
Now, what's reading on Ursula's mind? Is she saying, come on, or mess up?
Well, I think like being a true athlete, like you don't want to get good results I don't know, if you want someone other to make a mistake, I think it's all about fair fight. Let's see who's better from top to the finish, and be happy for another and be happy for yourself, or quite the opposite. So
Well, it's
yeah,
gonna be
it's
close.
gonna be close. Just outside.
Oh, wow.
So you're only first and second so far. Not bad,
Yeah. How many are up there?
huh? It's still
Six.
quite a long way to go, but great start.
But we're on a good way. Yeah. Hopefully it will stay like this. Nah, I'm just like.
We'll see.
No,
May
you're
the
allowed,
best
you're allowed
win.
to say you're allowed to be patriotic, and
Yeah.
that's what we like about it.
But still, I'm like when I was, I don't know, younger, and even now, I watched quite a lot of women races, because, like I said earlier, we save. If we have some problems, we save it with our strength. But ladies, they need to save it with their feeling and
Yeah.
everything. So you can learn quite a lot. And everybody was looking at me like I'm.
You're not
from-
crazy.
Lisa Leitner from Austria, great hope for the future. Only made one World Cup for various reasons this year, came 16th, but under 23 Worlds came 5th.
Yeah, and also she was, I think, at first second at the Europeans, but then she got disqualified because the boat was too light, sadly.
And had to learn the hard way as well.
Yeah.
Wasn't able to compete in the next World Cups, but
Various reasons. Yeah.
But she spent a lot of time in Ivrea, so she knows the course very well. She spent her winter here training, and she really likes the course. So
And also, I think they had selections for the Olympics last year here in Ivrea at the World Cup, so for sure she knows the course pretty well.
And Karina Kunle set the world alight in the heats, but unfortunately didn't quite make it through today to the finals.
Yeah, that's the thing, It doesn't matter what you do in the qualis if you're qualified for the semis, and it doesn't matter what you do in the semis if you're
it all
qualified
starts
for the
from
final.
zero.
Yeah.
But she's she's 5
Yeah.
seconds up, so she's
He's looking to be a good run.
yeah, she's very strong and an incredible paddler. Uses the water so well, and it's
Yeah.
great to watch.
Dropping a little bit lower, but I don't think with that advantage on the top it will make a difference, but maybe she lost some time. But
And didn't you say Lisa gave you quite a good inside information this week?
She told me where to get the best gelato because she knows that well, and I have to say it was great advice.
where was
Well,
I?
Comes into first
Oh,
place,
wow.
1.55 a second ahead. So moves into first
I
place.
think that's the second time of the day, is it?
The
like-
top sign.
Yeah. Even if
So she looks happy with that.
yeah, that's good.
Good job.
Well,
Best, in the semi-finals as well, yes.
yeah, we can see that also. Like the flat time, Ursula had a better time, but she had a penalty, so sadly, she moved now into second place. But yeah, Lisa did a good job. Knowing
ne-
of the courses.
Who's next? When Big Sister commentates about you, she said she's excited and knows, and she's allowed to scream, so the rules apply for you.
I think, Jess is an incredible paddler, but right now her biggest competitor is probably her C1 time, which she's going to try and beat because yesterday she delivered such an incredible run.
Well,
She did a 98 plus 2 in
I think
her
she
C1,
would be
so.
close to the final in the C1 men event, so
Yeah, so she's sure
respect
going
to
to
that.
unleash another gear.
Yeah, she's doing nice. It's good, like when you jump
Ooh.
from 3 to 4. If you jump and you stay like clean, doesn't like hit. If the wave doesn't hit you, you maintain the speed, and then you get a good glide through the flat section, which is I think very important. I don't think she lost any time there at 5,
No.
even though she was low.
She did a little sprint like in her C1, so I think it's about using the water but also knowing where you can gain a lot of time in that flat water section.
Well, look at that, 2 seconds up already.
This is looking like a flyer so far.
So she put 10 seconds on the field in the C1. Can she do similar exploit in the K1?
Well,
Maybe not in kayak, but
if she does that, then she would be on the podium in K1 man event. So
I think that
hopefully
day may come.
not.
Well, given back
Oh,
a
so
little bit
she's-
of time.
yeah, lost a bit of time, but that was a very fast up, and she stayed on the inside pole there, and it's a really swirly eddy. It's easy to get
Let's
on
see
the
this
outside. Ooh,
Yeah,
bit caught. But this bottom section is extremely important as well, so she can keep the boat running and keep the speed.
Yeah, I think this will be a good run. It's gonna be close. What's the time? 99? No,
Yeah, 99.
I think she's okay.
Ooh,
Ooh, nice.
96.
Nice run.
Yeah, that was a very good run. Wow.
So to stick your neck out, will that be a medal winning run?
Ooh, there are still 4 people left, but you know what? Hopefully.
Well, anything can happen, but this run was really good, like from top to bottom, and we'll see what the rest of the field will do.
So that was a very impressive run, and she beat her C1, so I think she'll be happy.
Which is good.
A target always.
But you know, if she has 2 blades in the K1, she should be at least more than 2 seconds faster than C1.
Marie-Célia Lafont, top French paddler for the last couple of years since Emily Fair has moved on, and she's put down some good times. So far, missed out on the Prague World Cup, 44th in Augsburg, 48th in Markleberg, but 3rd in the Europeans.
Yeah, I think she can do a really good run, or she can totally mess the run down. So hopefully it will not be the second, but yeah. For now, I think she's doing all right.
Yeah, so she's a pretty safe paddler as well, and I know she's been training very hard in Pau. It's her home course, and that's the main priority for her. She's very strong on that course.
Clearly,
World
say
champs.
you next weekend, then about a 10-day break, and then we go to Pau. So it starts on 22 days' time.
Yeah, it's come up.
She's still in touch there. So, well, but
Ooh, that was close. That was tied.
let's see what the Slovenian judge will do there. For now, yeah, she's doing pretty good.
Yeah. Wow, so she's 1 second up. So this is,
This is the time to beat.
yeah. Let's see if she can hold it together in the last part of the course. And
Yeah, but it's good to see the final one where runs are improving all the time. That's good, you know,
Yeah, wow,
also for the
she's-
videos, for the viewers, because
So 98.94 is a time to beat.
this is a great run.
I just got a penalty. Yeah. So
Oh no.
Hey.
Oh wow. Oh.
It's all gone wrong, I think.
why was I saying that on the start?
Oh
Well,
no.
50.
You know-
She is going to be more than gutted. The last gate, that was a cracker run.
It was a
Oh, how
very good.
disappointing.
Yeah, the problem is in our sport, you know, it's not over till you come through the finish
Yeah,
line.
that's it. It's like at the Europeans as well. It wasn't over until you passed the last stopper after all the
Yeah,
gates stopped.
I remember that quite well because I lost the medal there when there were no gates at all. But it doesn't matter,
Yeah,
you know.
that's what's horrible about this sport, actually.
Yeah,
The last
it's so
gate. Oh, she'll be
unpredictable,
devastated.
and also I think last year there were like quite a lot of mistakes from the last gate to the finish. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody, like lots of people got caught in the eddy there and just like spinned.
Dukatova, it's Jana Dukatova, 34 years young. Let's see how she can go here.
Yeah, one thing we've learned is that it's never over until you pass the finish line. So let's see how well Jana can hold it together.
And she's becoming very professional with her video blog, isn't she? She has
Yeah,
this
she's
huge
a-
camera now. And
She's a YouTuber. She's got her blogs and has a professional vlogging camera with a microphone.
Which
Very
is
impressive.
also good for the promotion of the sport, and I think in Slovakia, you know,
Yeah.
with a history in canoe slalom there, like the first Olympic gold medal ever
Oh, that's incredible.
for the nation in '96, and yeah, they are quite popular. And doing this with the vlog thing, I think Jana is doing pretty well also for the
Well,
for
slightly-
the whole community.
Slight down, 2.6 down so far.
Yeah,
Can
but
she make it up though?
But I think like even if you're second or maybe even 2 seconds slower on the top, if you nail the bottom part, I think you can catch back the time you lost on the top. You know.
So time, third time is 100.99. So you have 2 seconds to play with from Jess Fox's time.
Yeah.
So she lost a bit of time out of that up. The boat stopped a little bit,
But she's still clean.
but
so
she's
which
still
is-
clean. And
Yeah, and Jess got a penalty, so let's say they are tied to see. But I don't think she will take the lead.
so she has 5 seconds.
To the finish, and yeah, I don't think that this will
Not
be
today.
enough. No. So your sister's on the podium.
Oh yeah,
No
only
screaming.
only 2 boats left. So maybe she can work her way up one by one.
Well, Jana's doing well in the overall standings. This is the 4th World Cup and 4th final, 9th, 2nd and 5th. So certainly consistency is what is going well.
Yeah, but I think like you're happy with making to the final at every race. It gives you that confidence before the World Champs. But still, you know, if your goal is to win a medal at the World Champs, you know, you need to improve your runs in the finals, and if you can manage to do that.
Martina Wegman, I believe it's her first final. She's great to interview. How do you work with your coach? Don't have one. Are you ever nervous? No.
I think Mike just gave her some advices, but yeah, you know, this course, it's like we saw, it's pretty wild, especially from the bridge down. It's pretty hard, and she's doing a lot of creaking as well,
Yeah,
so she knows how to maneuver down
And
the white
also
water.
manage anxiety or fear. This would definitely not be scary
Exactly.
for her.
No, she's asking, what about nerves before race? No.
Yeah, she's.
Well,
That's good.
So she reminds me a little bit of Kate. She puts her boat in the right position and knows how to. Ooh.
Oh.
So you're saying?
Yeah. I don't like cursing people, but
Believe me, she's not watching.
but she's a
Alison.
very safe paddler. If not.
yeah,
Awesome competitor in the slalom cross.
like I talked to her after the semis, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, I'm just having fun down the course, and that's it."
Yeah, she's all about having fun and doing the sport for the love of
Why
it.
did you start slalom? Well, it gives me something to do. Oh, here she goes.
It
Obviously, a
doesn't
big
matter
paddling
of the
family.
reason, just as long as she's doing it. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, great to see her in the final. It's not going
Exactly.
to... Ooh, catching up a little bit though. 7 seconds back and now 5 seconds back, which is looking good.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be tight. 101 makes you in a medal position so far. No, struggling a bit
Ooh.
there.
No.
Oh, somehow saved that to not go down in the eddy below, which happened to quite a few people today.
Yeah, but I don't think she will be pretty disappointed because, like we said, it's her first final, and she
Yeah.
was really happy about it. And yeah, maybe she was a little bit tired because
But it's good to see new faces in the final,
Exactly.
and that's what's great. It gets shuffled around a little bit, so
it makes it interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Now we're gearing up for the last paddler.
There's only one person you don't want to go last in a semi-final. Vicky Funk. She's won the last 2 World Cups. She won here last year. As the Germans, as we saw, Yasmin Shawn, were going to cheer her on all the way. Talking about,
Yeah, but
she's
she's
really amazing.
I'm
isn't
I'm
she?
impressed about like she's so tiny,
I
and like
know.
and the speed that she gets in the boat, the glide that she gets, it's amazing, you know.
She's an incredible paddler.
We asked her yesterday, you know, what can make you change your tactics in the last minute of a race? No, we don't. I don't. Why?
Why? Exactly.
It's like,
She
okay.
has so much speed. It's just the sprint. I'm excited to see her flatwater sprint, the German style. They have so much power.
And
Right.
she's doing really good now.
Last
Gets
athlete
the-
to go in
gets the
the
good
Ready?
flow
Here
there.
it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
meow.
Her boat never stops. It's always moving, and she's
Which is
such
pretty hard.
Yeah.
You can see on the graphics that Jess Fox is leading so far. We're watching this very closely.
And Lisa Leitner has a medal as
has
well.
a medal, and now we are
Excellent.
waiting for a Slovenian.
Look at that, nearly 2 seconds up.
Yeah, like Noemi said, like her boat really
Look
runs.
at that, down slightly.
Yeah, but she kept the speed, you know. Okay, it was a little bit of time lost there, but I think.
Yeah, the boat is not stopping.
Well, so far this season, Vit Prindus 3 wins. Jess Fox C1 3 wins. Can Ricardo Funk do the
Oh.
same?
Oh, 4 seconds up. Wow. And her boat was so dry through those stoppers, so that's
And
a
I-
lot of time gain as well.
and
Jess
also
is looking quite nervous down
Where?
there.
it all depends about this move. Ah, got a little bit stuck, but no.
Ooh.
Maybe gave a second back.
Yeah, but I think we will see the.
All right, here it
I think-
goes.
So 98.94.
Don't look, don't look. She touched.
It's easily.
touch?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
Oh,
Ooh!
Oh, wow.
Yeah, good job.
and another
Great run.
victory.
With
Wow.
with touching the second last gate, that's not really a good idea.
But she pretty much always touches there,
Wow.
doesn't she? She always to keep the
Yeah.
crowd happy.
Yeah, it's so funny. Like, I don't know. I talked to her in Emirates, and she was like, "Yeah, I know I touch a lot, but I don't know what else to do." And I said,
Fair enough.
you know, but as long as she's faster than like for
Yeah.
a couple of seconds, it doesn't matter at the end.
So these are the standings
After?
after the 4 races. So we just saw that for half a second.
So
but,
this is deja vu. I'm pretty sure Ricardo was first and Jess was second this time last year in Ivrea. So it's the same two on the podium. And
And-
Lisa Leitner. So that's a pretty cool podium.
Yeah,
all huge,
And
huge
very
talents.
tight racing as well.
And Slovenia
fourth,
just
fifth.
missing out.
Oh.
ah,
Well, we get another cake, so that's good.
yeah, it was a good cake yesterday.
The Ivrea specialty. Yeah, Slovenia 4th, 5th, and Kate Eckart 7th, so not bad for the Aussies.
Well done.
And
With a good run, eh?
yeah,
Let's just confirm that gold goes to Ricardo Funk from Germany. Jess Fox takes the silver for Australia. Lisa Leitner takes the bronze for Austria.
But it's good, you know, because now the times are getting closer. Also
Yeah.
with the K1 women, because like back in the days when I started and I was still a little bit younger than now, like those margins were way, way, way bigger,
yeah.
which is good, you know. You are not supposed to bet on one person, you know, and that's a good thing, you know.
Yeah, well, that was a good and exciting final to watch.
Yeah, I loved it. I love
So,
the commentating
Peter
for the first
Cowser.
time. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. We're going to go and just, yes, we're going to change you over. Thanks so much for coming in,
Okay.
and we'll see you next time.
See
Thank
ya.
you. So this is the standings. 232. Funk Dugatova's followed really closely by 1 point by Jess Fox, and you can see down there. So it's what a big victory at the moment, a big difference, but they're looking good. We do have another guest coming in. It's a bit Australian dominated, but talking about top athletes here. Ros Lawrence, hello, thank you for stepping in.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So Naomi, we're keeping you.
Yep.
This is great, and we're looking forward to the next event, which is going to be the C1 men. Ros, you were on the water this morning. What are your thoughts about the K1 women? Was it a surprise to see Funk, Fox and Leitner on the podium?
No, I don't think it was a surprise at all. They're all wonderful paddlers. The semi saw the course scalping a few other awesome paddlers, but yeah, it was an exciting semi and an exciting final, and I'm excited to see what the C1 men will do.
Let me see, let's just update the graphics for ourselves so we can keep an eye on who's going on. Press the actual right button. There we go. So again, let's see, looking down scarily, we've got Tasiadis, Benov, Slavkovsky, Martikan, who are all absolute flyers. Ivaldis had a medal so far this season. Let me see who else. Gregor, first time in a C1 in the World Cup. Obviously had quite a few good results in the C2. Casey Eichfield, 3 Olympics so far. Who else do we have? Luka Bozic, obviously a World Championship medalist, and Lucas Rohan, who was a forerunner in the Czech Republic and then came 5th a couple of weeks ago. So it's all stacked with talent here.
It's good, quite a lot of nations, but as always, 3 Slovakians, so they're still dominating the category.
Well, here we are. Here's the standings so far. Sidiris Tasiadis, not surprisingly winning. He's had a first and second and second. Benish is always up there. Savchek, Anton, Bozic, Martikan. Well, you can read the rest for yourselves. But David Florence not competing this week. Hello, if you're watching. As to all the others who are not competing this week. And who else haven't we mentioned yet? Jurgis Badura, originally from Slovakia, now from Norway. He's second final of the season. So everyone is has a chance.
And it's good to see Rafi in there, representing Italy and keeping the crowd happy.
Rafi's been pushing the lines in his runs this World Cup season, and it's going to be pretty tight in the final, I think.
Well, we can see Gregor Mazurczak from Poland is going to be the first to go. He was the 10th in the final, semi-final rather, and then we can see in the other order. So far, well, we don't have any records. He's under 23, and this, I believe, is his first World Cup final, certainly in the C1. So it'll be interesting to see how he's adapted. Obviously, after the C2s came out of the Olympic program, he wanted to go for a plan B.
Shout out to those safety guys. They're ready to go at any moment. They are great safety.
Especially earlier in the week.
Not that we need it for a World Cup, but they've been ready at any moment. So.
And they're wearing these incredibly thick, is it neoprene?
Oh, they must be hot.
All day.
They must be quite hot right now.
That's why they keep jumping in the water.
So you see the course layout. It's a river that comes from the Mont Blanc, the Douro River, and the Scream's been updated massively in the last couple of years. There's about a 4 or 5 metre wall to river right. So all the fans are about 5 metres down here. A bird's eye view of what's going on. Here we go. It is Gregor Mazurczak from Poland. Let's see how he goes.
So the C1s have been having a little bit of a tricky time at the top and at the bottom of the course. I think that's where you can gain or lose a lot of time. Yep.
Taking a plan B?
Like that, plan B. And it's also a little bit harder to keep the boat running. But it can be equally or even more impressive than the K1 sometimes.
I'd like to point out that Jess Fox's final C1 time would have put her in the top 20 men in the semi-final. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's good to see the girls pushing against the guys, even yesterday or Friday as well, with Karina being in the top 20 K1 men, which is equally as impressive. So
we've got a solid start from Gregor. Sometimes it's nice to be the first one off. There's a bit less pressure.
Yeah.
Do you think how much does pressure come into this? Oh,
yeah,
quite a lot
so
in this
that's
case.
Quite costly. But you can see how much power he's putting into his strokes, and it shows just how pushy the water is as well, and lots of stoppers, and yeah, got a little bit caught there, and
I think she's in his
it looks a little bit
though.
lactic as well. It's hard.
But if you've always been competing in a C2, then suddenly to have to find yourself alone, it must be quite lonely.
Probably in training. It's good to see some of the C2 guys coming across to C1 and doing an amazing job.
And C1 or kayak as well, they've kind of just had to change pathways, and some of them have adapted so well, it's incredibly impressive. Ooh, and it hasn't been the best run for him, and he looks like he's given up a little bit, getting pushed around, so better luck next time.
Well, first to go, great. He's actually made a final at the first attempt.
And clean run, so...
Can't much more than that. You see the crowd. It's a bit cloudy, a bit windy this early this morning, but it seems to have calmed down a little bit.
The Italians are an awesome crowd. They seem to know who they're cheering for, not just the Italians, but they've got international favourites as well.
Yeah, they're fans.
Casey Eichfeld from the USA, 3 times Olympian at least. So far this season hasn't been to his standards. 21st, Prague, Augsburg 25th, Markleberg 11th. So the first international final of the season. Let's see how he goes.
So he's a righty as well. So far we've had 2 righties go down. He's managed to do that move very well, and he's giving a lot of speed. Look at the grunt.
I think this course is designed really intelligently, so there's not too much an advantage given to anyone who paddles on the right or the left. It's very balanced.
Look at that, huge 5 seconds up all day. He's only the second athlete to go so far.
Yeah, he's having a good run.
Oh, you said that last time.
Damn it.
Well, it's whacked out the bait. It was Lisa who
The top
destroyed it.
Top half of the course is flat and a little bit easier than the bottom, where we see a lot more stoppers and some stopper crosses that are challenging all our athletes today.
But he's keeping his form, and he knows that a touch 2-second penalty is costly, so he's amped it up a little bit and giving it everything. Oh, that was very nicely done.
He's nailed it.
94.22 was the fastest in the semi-final.
So he hasn't been caught by... Ooh. Another touch on gate 21, so +4 is quite detrimental, to be honest.
Where it's a huge...
Oh, 96 though, so he would have done a 92.
Well, he's happy. That's
Well,
good.
that's very
what counts.
impressive.
And he knows where the camera is, which
And
most
he-
people...
Great run, great raw time. What was the fastest time?
The fastest time before in the semi-final was 94.22 by Luka Bozic.
That was a very fast running time from
Yeah,
Casey without
2
his
seconds
penalties.
faster.
Great stuff. So it's Rafael Ivaldi. Brother Zeno was in the final yesterday,
2
so it's good for
Ivaldis.
the family.
The coach will be happy.
Yeah.
Father Torre. So it's very much a family affair this weekend. Let's see how he goes. And he celebrated like he'd won the Olympic gold when he won the bronze in Prague. So let's see how he
Well, it
goes.
was his first World Cup medal, and
He's still quite young.
yeah, he's still quite young, and he was in quite a hard final because Prague is in a very tricky course, and
It's great to see emotion.
The Italians will be going nuts on the bank. They had a C1 in 11th and 13th, so nearly through in the final.
yeah.
Rafi's done really well.
And you know about finishing 13th, don't you?
Yeah.
So far so good.
Oh! Maybe he's cutting a little bit
Asterisk
too tight
moment.
there.
Ah, damn it.
Well, given a 50 at the moment. We'll have to see how that's judged.
So Brother Zeno also got a 50 in the exact same way at gate 12. When they neck it just a little bit too tight, you have to give a bit more space, and yeah, that was pushing the boundaries and suffering the consequences. He'll be gutted.
The C1s are cutting the lines tighter and tighter at every
Like
leg.
you said. You did say that. But
But he was faster. He just happens to... Is there any contention there, or do you think it's definitely a 50? We'll have to see the judges. on it.
well, from the angle that we had, it was very... I would have given it a 50, but then again, every angle's different and you get a different perspective. But it's better to be safe and put your head in 3 more centimetres than risk a potential 50.
Rafi's doing a really good job to keep going hard. I'm sure he'll have a good raw running time.
Yeah. Not sure if he's accepting that, or... Yeah, he's accepting it. He knows he was in the wrong, but great to be in the final again and to put on a good show for the crowd and his home country.
So let's see who's going to go next. It looks like it's Jurgis Badura. So Roz, tell me something about him. You know him quite well.
Jokic is having a killer season. He's been in a couple of finals. used to paddle for Slovakia, but now for Norway. He's a lovely guy. He spent the summer with me a couple of years ago in Australia. And I'm super excited to see him doing well.
Best result so far was just 10th last time out in Markelberg.
It's just a matter of time before he's on the podium, I think.
I hope he's not too hot in the long sleeve. It's quite hot out there, but the water is very cold.
Yoki's girlfriend Andrea is here cheering for him.
Well, he took 2 penalties in the semi-final for a reasonable time, quite full.
Yeah, if he can tidy that up, it will be impressive.
Oh, wow. He did
that's-
well to recover.
Yeah, that was...
But slalom keeps you on your toes, that's for sure. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh.
Whereas 2 seconds off, but he's absolutely flying, isn't he? He's giving it all.
Yeah, he has such great extension and really long limbs, which allows him to stretch really far and grab water, and just a great stroke rate as well. So,
Seen a couple of mistakes on this up. We'll see how he goes.
wow, that was radical, but nailed it. I think he knows that he has a lot of time to gain.
It's almost like they've speeded the camera up, the speed that he paddles.
Oh, his strokes are quite long and powerful, but he's cutting
Right.
a few lines now.
Still in touch,
Yeah.
because Casey had 4 penalties.
He's definitely cutting the lines. He's got nothing to lose.
And tiredness at this level of the male athletes, is it? I guess you're all tired, but do they train for this?
Well, this last section is quite boily and the water is really pushy, so you do have to have a good
That's close.
energy reserve. So let's see what they say.
Well, so far it comes into second, 99.12. Left it a little bit close on the last gate, 23. We'll have to see how he says. So 4 athletes gone. No one's actually set it alight, although Casey Eichfield's raw time was very, very good. So who to go now? It's young Mikael Martikan, and he won last time out in Markelberg. It's amazing. It's the first time we've all seen him smile for years. He was so happy.
He's an incredible paddler, and I'm sure it feels good to be back on number 1 where he belongs.
He's smiling in his profile picture.
Is that from Beijing?
Yeah.
Yes. Last time he smiled. Anyway, it's great to see him being top dog.
Mardigan has a very distinctive style. He's smooth and controlled, and he rarely moves his body from the neutral position. Although we might see him duck a few of these staggers here.
A lot of people have adopted his style as well. You can see that. The French C1 paddler Martin Thomas, I think he paddles a lot like Mardigan, and I know he's inspired a lot of people. He's quite the legend of the sport.
Very tidy today. Very tidy.
His boat design has become very popular as well. There are a lot of people paddling the Mardigan boats these days.
I thought you were talking about the colour, and I was like, well, it's quite standard, just the red. But
He had a year off red, didn't he? He did 2 years ago.
he went blue.
And it didn't work, so he's gone back to red. So we're very tight on the timings. It's looking good so far.
His
Crucially clear.
technique is unbreakable.
I've heard him nicknamed the Shark because of the gaze of his eyes.
Oh yeah, he's quite intimidating to paddle with.
Well, a second up.
Ooh. Yeah, very neat and tidy, and it's very tactical.
Quite low in that up, but he had some time to spare.
That's crucial, doesn't it? Hasn't no penalties so far. 5th of the 10 athletes to go for
Ooh.
Ivrea.
He's
That's 2
is that a
seconds.
touch.
That's going to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Expensive.
So 21 has caught a lot of people actually, but aside from that,
Wow.
he did a fast time, 93.
No,
but-
disgusted with himself.
I don't think he'll be too satisfied with that.
We've got some big names to come, and the other Slovaks are always happy to challenge Mardikan.
Well, so far he goes in the lead, which is all you can ask, really. 95.08. So slightly slower than Casey, but 95. The times are coming down. As I said, the fastest in the semi was Luka Bozic with 94. Next ones to go is Lukáš Rohan from the Czech Republic. On the verge of the A team, was a forerunner in Prague, and I think his time would have put him in the medals. It was amazing
Yeah.
what he was messing around at. And so far, his only chance to show what he can do was in Magdeburg, where he came 6th, but also this year, European under 23 was he 3rd, and the under 23 Worlds was 4th.
Yeah, he's an incredible paddler. He has great reach. You can see he's quite lanky, so that allows him to reach very far. And he missed out on the senior team this year, but the standard in Czech is quite high as well. So I really like his style. He's got good technique and always keeps the boat running and whips the ups.
Like
Yeah,
that.
like that.
Exactly.
So as Roz said, it's quite a balanced course. We've seen righties go down well, but also the lefties
Right.
sort themselves out
In
very
touch, 1.92 off the pace. But
Mardigan had a low up at the bottom, so just could make up a bit of time on him there.
well. So I think this section is a little bit harder on the left, but
well, kept consistently 1.37 off.
that could have been a disaster, but it wasn't, so that's good.
Lost a second to say there, maybe.
A few air strokes. Ooh, on the verge of going down into the bottom eddy, but he saved that.
So what's the tactic there? You just have to see what the water gives you and then go around the back.
It's always about adapting. You have a plan, but you've got to do the best with what you get.
Well, it's certainly going to a provisional medal position, just to see where. 3rd rank.
He lost a bit of time down the bottom. He was offline a little bit and picked up a bit of time here and there. And
He's still a very young paddler, and he's done a great job to make the final.
Absolutely. Next to
I
come,
love his colour coordination as well.
fair enough. Who's it? Sidiris Tasiadis, who was 1st in Prague. That was his first victory, by the way, in the World Cup. 2nd in Augsburg, 2nd in Magdeburg. Let's see how he goes today.
He's a very consistent paddler, and he's got a really smooth style that I think will suit this course quite well. And as with all the Germans, he's exceptionally strong.
Yeah, he's a beast.
See how he goes today. His short paddle.
But he's not wearing a Hiko or a Peak, so you can see that in comparison to the other paddlers, his life jacket's a little bit bigger. So he can't be as tight on the poles as the other guys.
A naive question, but why is that?
So the new life jackets mean that there's less foam around the chest. His looks a bit bulky, which means there's 2 centimeters of extra foam, but I don't think it's the be all or end all. It's just the specifics.
Well, 3/4 of second up so far.
I think Tasiadis is staying true to form. He's smooth, plenty of space around the gates, but keeping the run, and that's what's giving him the speed, and maybe why he doesn't
Maybe
have a
that's
smaller
why he
life
doesn't need
jacket.
it. Exactly. Yeah, he's always in the middle of the gates and such a strong paddler, and
Taking the lead away, 1.31 now. Shot to
That
light,
was
obviously,
very
with his
good.
medal in London.
Been virtually mistake-free. If he can hold it together across this surf, he'll be on a winner.
he's just so safe. Watching him, you know he's going to make the gates.
Time to go for is 95.
This has been a great run.
It's going to
And the German
really
sprint at
well
the
under.
end.
Whoa!
Wow.
That's so fast.
Oh my gosh.
91.10.
Incredible run. Incredible run.
It's a good day for Germany, I think.
So my bet is that's going to be on top of the podium today.
Okay. Well, 3 athletes to go. I'm not sure that Benish will agree with you. Because Benish just seems to be able to up the gear when it matters.
The Slovakians are very good at that.
Well, that's a great time, the fastest of the C1 today, and clearly gazing at provisional first place. Mathieu Benesch also having a good season, second, first, 12th. ITF ranking 1.
Benesch has a mind of steel, I think. He always looks cool,
He's a
calm and
man of
collected.
steel. Yeah, he does look very calm all the time.
3 Slovaks in the final, Martikon in second place and Slavkovsky to go next. Let's see how Benesch goes down. Tell me something about his style.
Benesch is a very tall man with long arms, so
Yeah.
he's got very long reach, but he's also quite powerful. Pretty much he does everything well.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But
Yes.
this year we've seen, well, in this final we've seen very tall and lanky men like Benush, Alexander Slavkovsky as well, Badura. They've all got great reach.
Well, look at that. He's 2.94 off. He's going to have to do something special. Did you see where it's going wrong, or was it just that everything went right for Sidoris?
I think Sideris was giving
Oh,
a
that
bit
was
more
fast. That was fast though, and the bottom is where you can gain a lot of time as well. So if he can keep this rhythm, then he'll be contention.
Well, staying very much in there. Had a bit of time off after the Olympics with loads, obviously been in Slovakia and taking a medal. Had loads of media work. So last bit he was 2 seconds down. See if he can make some up. Did Sidoris give much time back in the last section?
No, he was smooth and tight everywhere.
Okay, that's a shame. But matters.
Depends who you ask.
Exactly.
Ooh.
This is still a good run from Benesch.
Well, it's very close. It's probably going to second place.
But seeing 3 seconds isn't the most satisfying feeling. But
Well, we know that
He's-
Sidoris Tassiadis has a medal.
yeah. But the next 2 people are quite tough to beat.
Alexander Slavkovsky. Mixed results so far this season. 27th in the first event in Prague, then 4th in Augsburg, and 16th in Markleberg. So yet to medal.
Now's his time to shine.
Could well do.
I know he was climbing earlier in the week, so I think he's in a good mental place to
He tells
perform.
me he stops by here sometimes. It's exactly halfway between home and Sale. It's quite a long drive. Most teams are going to go in the next 24 hours. About a 10-hour drive, isn't it, to the next World Cup?
Yep, and
Yeah.
the training starts
Yeah.
early tomorrow morning.
So
Anyway, here we go. Alexander Slavkovsky. Slightly different. He caresses the water almost.
yeah, so he's not as brutal, but he's very smooth and an incredible paddler and great technique. The boat's always flat and running, and the strength helps as well.
I know talking to Casey Eichfield before here, he was saying keep the boat flat, 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 flat. That's a crucial
Yeah,
situation.
definitely.
Something that Slavkovsky's very good at.
And that was a very tight exit, so I think he would have gained a little. Oh,
1.24
still 1 second
back.
down, but that's not too bad. Oh, whoa!
Certainly close. Do you think it hit?
It's quite hard as a righty to cut that gate so tight.
Yeah, I think asterisks on that gate. We'll see what the judges say.
So if the water hits
Oh.
it, it doesn't count. But yeah, 2 second penalty given. It's going to make it things awkward. 3 seconds off the pace now.
3 seconds off the pace is still in second place, so
Okay. And to beat your compatriots, that must feel good.
that was very well done. He didn't get caught by the stopper or stopped by the wave, so nice and dry means nice and fast.
Well, coming into the last section. They're going to be good next week as well. I remember a couple of years ago seeing a Slovakia 1, 2, 3 in Sale. Here he comes. Where's he going to
They're
be?
in height order, the current leaders.
Well,
So
moves into
second place.
Yeah. And is an asterisk next to his name.
Yep, so we'll see what happens there. I think he knows the results might change, but watch this space, I'd say.
Well, from very tall, reachy athletes to someone on the end of the scale, the other way, Luka Bozic.
Ooh. It's hard to tell from this angle.
But always happy to be one of the major performers in the sport.
Yeah.
So Bozic obviously prioritised before the Olympics in Rio the C2. Now he's gone back to C1, which he has been very good at in the last 4 or 5 years.
Definitely.
He's very powerful and smooth. I think he's paddling the C1 as strongly as if he was still in C2, and that makes him very fast.
Well, 2 finals so far this year: 7th Prague, 10th in Augsburg, and 15th in Magdeburg. Let's see how he goes.
He's a very smooth paddler and times his strokes really effectively.
Last athlete to go. Stelios Tasiadis is leading. Slavkovsky has an asterisk next to his name still.
He's very quick through that stagger.
Yeah. It requires a lot of coordination as well, timing the crossbows, not getting too tangled in the gates.
So Slovenia putting lots of athletes in the final. We saw 2 women coming, was it 4th and 5th earlier in the K1?
Yeah, 4th and 5th. So he's 2 seconds down, which is the silver medal position. And that was a lot safer than Slavkovsky.
And he's extremely fit athlete, so there'll be no problem keeping the batteries going.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Slovenians
Touch
do
on... Oh, no. Error.
Sorry, Slovenians do what?
a lot of skiing in the winter, long distance. That keeps them very fit.
Well, very much in touch for 2nd place.
He's a bit low into
Yeah,
17.
lost a bit of time there.
We'll see how he goes. 18, 19. The wave there varies a lot, and people have been coming in quite low.
Sweep. Ooh.
He's high, but not super fast, unfortunately.
Time to go for 3rd place would be 94.17. Looks
Yeah.
like 1st is out of the way now.
Yeah, Tasiadis had an incredible run, so that's... Oh,
Or maybe just out of the medals.
Oh,
4th
right.
position. Oh.
4th.
Stelios Tasiadis is having a dream season. 1st
Yeah.
in Prague, 1st in Ivrea, and the other 2 were a disappointing 2nd.
2 Slovaks on the podium, though. That's impressive.
We've had quite consistent World Cup leaders. So, in each category, I think.
We really have, haven't we? We had
Vit
Fox
Prindis.
dominating in winning the last 3 World Cups in the C1. Prindis winning 3 this season so far. C2 has been Kolowski Yanni winning 2. We saw the Skanta twins cousins winning last week. Like yesterday rather, so I'm getting a bit confused here. And then today Funky does her 3rd World Cup win. And
So they
Tasiadis
took the touch off Slavkovsky.
He still has an
He still has
asterisk.
an
though.
asterisk.
Still has
isn't
an
it?
asterisk because he did hit it, didn't he? I can't remember.
Well, it looked like he hit 12. Also an asterisk next to Luka Bozic, but he has no penalties, so it can only be bad news. We have to
Yeah,
wait for
so
the
we'll-
decision to come through. The judges can take as long as they need, really, to have a look in detail.
They don't finalise the results until all the boats are scrutineered at the end of the race either.
And that's
It's
obviously
always a waiting game.
just a challenge that has to be. I don't think there are any. They're spending a lot of time and energy and open to suggestions about the perfect way to do it, but in an
But
unperfect world,
anyway,
it's difficult.
Congrats to the Germans. They've really dominated today and continue to be the leaders of the sport, I'd say.
Well, it's certainly enjoyable to watch. Just waiting to see if they're going to give us any results. If there's an asterisk by the name on the graphics, that means it's still up to interpretation. Things can change, as your big sister knows sometimes.
Yeah, unlike the women, they were really cutting the lines today, which means potential 50s or potential touches. But it also makes it quite exciting to watch, so they always put on a good show.
Well, that's what it's all about. So yeah, we're just about coming to the end of the live broadcast here at Ivrea. This afternoon we're going to have a lot of fun with the slalom cross. I haven't actually.
Lots of carnage.
I'm doing
Quite dramatic.
commentating. Right? I haven't checked. Are you two in this, or are you driving straight off?
We're driving to Sayo as fast as we can.
Yeah,
And
ready
safely
for our
as you
training
can.
session tomorrow.
Has that not been put back?
No.
Okay. Well done.
We have an 11 o'clock session, but we've negotiated some later training slots.
That should be fine. So, and you like the course in Sale?
Yeah, it's a really beautiful setting. The Spanish are friendly, the food is good.
It's like Ivrea, actually.
Yeah.
This has been such a good World Cup, hasn't it? We've been blessed with fine weather, but the fact that you're
Yeah.
on the
Great
sort of
crowd.
in the middle of a city, really, aren't we?
great crowd, great ice cream, great pizza, great water, the perks.
Good, solid competition with
So
some
all the
amazing
asterisks and so rough.
Yeah, they are. Hello. Sidiris Tassiadis takes the gold for Germany. Stavkovsky Alexander takes the silver for Slovakia. And Matej Beneš takes the bronze for Slovakia. Well, I wonder if they're going to have time to calculate the overall standings. The next and last World Cup is the World Cup final. What does that mean? Well, instead of having 60 points to win, you have 120. So it really keeps the whole situation open. 55 is, I said, 110 for second place. It's quite a complicated sliding scale, which you can find. You go to the website, you go on the actual live results section, you dig down a bit. Standings, Tassiadis is 230, Beneš 196, Savchek, who didn't make the final today, 163. So it's still open. So if you want to dig deep about the actual results, you can go on the live feed results and you go to the Cups competition, and it actually gives you a rundown of exactly who's doing what and how. So there you go. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun for us today and a lot of fun yesterday. I'd like to thank all the guests for taking their time to come and do some commentating. The watch is obviously very important. And here's this great course, which was adapted massively a couple of years ago. And it's a good course, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great course, and I look forward to coming back for the World Championships under 23 next year.
Of course,
So-
yes.
It's really fun white water here to paddle, but the rocks are pretty brutal on our boats. I've
Well,
got a few extra scratches.
Yeah.
but I hope everything works out well. No injuries this weekend. Thanks to the camera crews, thanks for direction, thanks to everyone for listening. And we will see you, well, in a few days. We'll start live feeding from next Thursday. We'll be in Sao for the last World Cup. And then obviously all the build-up goes towards Po, where it's going to be the World Championships. Great filming editing here. Everyone, happy days. Thanks, girls. And we'll see you soon.
Thanks very
Thanks.
much.